Good afternoon, everyone. I am Janea Kinisa from BSBA1 Financial Management, and today I will discuss about Maniago Revolt, Pampanga 1660 and Malong Revolt, Pangasinan 1660 to 1661. First, let us know who is Francisco Maniago. Francisco Maniago is a leader of the village in Mexico, Pampanga, who led a revolt in protest against forced labor and confiscation of rice by the Spaniards. He blocked the mouths of the rivers of Pampanga to stop commerce with Manila. His rebellion ended with the acceptance of his demands by the Spaniards. The causes and results of Francisco Maniago. Causes: natural love of the Pampangans, love of freedom. Next, hardship of forced labor in forests and shipyards. Last, rice taken from the people by government agent without payment. And the results are, the cause weakened because one makapagal powerful chief remained loyal to Spain. Next, accepted the peace offer of Governor General Marique de Lara upon the advice of a kind friar, Father Andres de Salazar. In 1660, the Pampangueños rose in revolt against Spain. Their leader was the valiant warlord, Francisco Maniago, a native of the town of Mexico, Pampanga. The term bandala, written vandala in Spanish record, is an old native word which means to take with some force. In the early days of October 1660, the Pampangueños began their uprising, setting fire to their own houses and swearing, by the light of the fierce flames, their rash intention to fight for their rights and liberty. The Maniago Revolt 1660. The rebels were weakened by Governor de Lara's cooperation of Arayat Chief Macapagal. The Maniago Revolt was an uprising in Pampanga during the 1660s. It was a revolt against the Spanish during the colonial period and was named after its leader Francisco Maniago. Governor Marique de Lara, upon learning about a uprising rush to Macabebe, and persuaded Juan Macapagal, the chieftain of Arayat, to remain loyal to Spain. Macapagal was hastily appointed as master of camp in the Spanish army. The rebel leader would stop the uprising on the following conditions. First, general amnesty to all rebels. Second, payment of the 200,000 pesos to the rebels as what the government owed to them. Third, cutting of timber was to continue but the natives were given time to attend to their other activities. Ang Maniago Revolt ay isang pag-aalsa sa Pampanga noong 1660s. Ito ay isang pag-aalsa laban sa mga Espanyol. Noong panahon ng kolonyal at ipinangalan sa pinuno nito na si Francisco Maniago. Noong panahong iyon, ang Pampanga ay nakakuha ng karamihan na atensyon mula sa relihiyosong grupo na kamag-anak nitong yaman. Pinasan din nila ang pasanin ng mas maraming tribute sa pilitang paggawa at pagsasamantala sa bigas. Malong Revolts, Andres Malong. In 1660 to 1661, Andres Malong was the maestro de campo of Binalatongan, now San Carlos City, Pangasinan, in the 1660s. He assisted many Spaniards in governing different towns in Pangasinan, and as such had learned and was trained to use force and cruelty. He hoped of being the king of the province, however, set this plan aside when a war, led by Francisco Maniago, broke out in Pampanga. Malong started his campaign in a small barangay called Malong, but failed. Having the same condition as in Pampanga, he led the people in Pangasinan to take up arms against the Spaniards. It spread like wildfire in Pangasinan. Because of his success, he proclaimed himself king of Pangasinan. He was a leader of a short-lived but devastating revolt in Pangasinan. Malong was the province master of camp, the governor's right-hand man in dealing with the natives. He was a Timawa. An Agustinian account described him as highly intelligent and clever, although it was his job, as master of camp, to impress upon his fellow Pangasinenses the advantages of having the Spanish overlord. He had other ideas. Unknown to his Spanish masters, he was sowing the seeds of revolt in the mind of the people. On 15th December 1660, Andres Malong persuaded and convinced the local residents of Pangasinan to fight for their liberty. They yearned for equality and freedom that were exclusive during the Spanish colonial rule. The people heeded Malong's call and joined the revolution. Many Spaniards, including the alcalde mayor, were killed during the battle. Some sources said that the Spanish friars were unharmed because Malong had given the order to spare them from any form of aggression, celebrating their victory and motivated by the growing numbers of their followers. Malong proclaimed himself the new ruler. He appointed ministers and took command of the military.